I made just over $40,000 this month trading using only one simple strategy. This strategy is not only the most profitable strategy that I've used, but also is the most simple strategy that I've ever seen. And just to prove that to you, I'm gonna break down this entire trading strategy in less than 15 minutes. I'm putting a 15-minute timer on the screen, that way I don't waste your time. So stick with me for 15 minutes and I'm gonna break down this entire trading strategy from start to finish. Let's go. So, first thing that we have to understand is this is called the Fibonacci continuation model. It is extremely simple to understand and it uses this tool right here on TradingView. This is going to be the top left-hand corner of your screen. When you draw this tool out though, it looks extremely confusing, right? I mean, take a look at it. It's got all kinds of numbers from start to finish. We are going to literally change this entire thing, right? I have a custom setup for it. So right now we're going to set the whole thing up. Once you click on the settings, you can double click the fib and go to the settings. There is going to be a lot of different options here. And as you can see, what we need to do is we need to take out all of these numbers except for these 5 that you're seeing right here. So 0.65, 0.618, 1, 0.5, and 0. Pause the video, go put those numbers on your chart, and then come back to this video, okay? Or honestly, just wait till the end if you want to do that as well. So what you can do now is click OK, and now you have this right here. This is your Fibonacci, right? And it only has 3 values on it because I want to make sure that it is the most simple thing that you can possibly have. And so the way that this Fibonacci works, guys, is very, very simple. We need to see trend in the market. And so when we're seeing trend in the market, we're most likely moving something like this. Now the question becomes, how far are we going to pull back in trend, right? Whenever we're moving like this, how do you know where we're going to actually go? And how do I know exactly when to enter? Well, the Fibonacci retracement, it tells you exactly when we are most likely to make this move to continue higher. And so I use this every single day, quite literally. I'll show you some examples later on. And this is literally, in my opinion, the simplest way to trade in trend. And so just to show you a very, very quick example, this was maybe what, 15 minutes ago? As you can see, if we draw our fib out, I'm going to explain exactly how to draw it out, don't worry. But you can see exactly where we end up bouncing, right? Now we don't end up continuing, but in the future, we're going to go over exactly, or in the future of this video, we're going to go over exactly how to spot whether or not this will continue or not. So make sure that you just keep watching because this is going to be 15 minutes of straight value. And if you leave, then you're not going to understand the strategy, right? So when we are trading in trend, we're most likely going to come down and retest one of these 2 values before continuing. It is pretty much that simple. And so the way that we're going to break this down is the first thing you want to do, this is step 1, is to find your range, okay? And now, what a range essentially looks like is going to be a big move that has a top and a bottom fully identified and established. And so in this scenario, it's this bottom right here and this top right here, right? These are the 2 values that I would consider the most important on this chart when it comes to identifying a range. And so to make it extremely simple, to explain step 2 is going to be to draw your fib. To make it extremely simple, what I want you to do is draw the fib from the left side of that range to the right side of that range. The reason why I say the left to the right is because a lot of people will try to go from top to bottom or bottom to top on every single range, and that draws your fib incorrectly in certain spots. For example, if we're going to count this as a range, right? We're going to draw it like this. We're not going to draw it from the bottom to the top because that's a backwards fib. So always draw it from the left to the right. And so if we draw out that fib, you can see right here that it looks something like this. Your bottom of your fib and your top of your fib. Same thing goes for this range right here. Bottom of your fib, top of your fib, right? It's the same exact range over and over again. We're going to make sure that we grab from the left to the right. So this one's going to be left to the right. And as you can see, you can start seeing exactly where we are bouncing. Take a look. We bounced here off this fib. We come up and we bounce here off this fib and we continue down. So already looking at it, you can start to see exactly where price is most likely going to reverse. It is so stupidly simple, but there's still 2 more things that we have to understand, okay? So step 3 is going to be to make sure that you are trading with price action confirmation off of the fib level. So you're going to make sure that you trade the continuation. And the way that this works, I'm going to clear all of this because this can get really confusing if I have all this on my chart at the same time. The way that this works is going to be very, very simple. We want to see price action confirmations off the fib. We're going to use the TFC model for this. And if you don't know what the TFC entry model is, I'll explain it in this video. I also have a bunch of videos talking about it. At the end, I'll link you to one that goes over my exact, entry process for literally every single trade that I take. So the way that we want to trade using this entry is going to be off of the continuation. And so what that looks like in this scenario is going to be this right here. We grab our fib tool and we go from the left side to the right side, like I said before, okay? Now what we're going to look for is going to be a continuation through lows or a break over and a continuation over the fib. I'll explain the break over in just a second. So what I need to see in this scenario is going to be a low break for me to get into this position, right? So it needs to come down. This next candle needs to come down and break this low for me to be interested. That's all it is, right? And so if that happens, I'll place my entry right here. As you can see, we already have VWAP and EMA. We're not gonna go over that right now, but we already have that as well, which is gonna give us another confluence on this position. This becomes 3 confluences is a really, really strong probability trade, right? So this next setup, all we need to do is see if we break that low. We don't break that low on the next candle, but we can leave our entry there because we need to break this low on the next candle. We don't break that low. We can set stops above this previous candle high. Okay, so we break that low on this candle right here. Your stops are gonna go above the previous candle high and above whatever fib level we are retesting. So for example, here, if we're retesting the 50%, we're gonna put our stops on the 50% above it though. Do not put it on the 50%. You wanna put it above. If you want to have extra risk, you can put it above the golden pocket as well. That is completely okay. It just depends on how much risk you can handle. For me, I'll go right here. And let's see what happens on the next candle. Sweet, we end up getting a good entry. And this ends up flying straight to target, which is going to be at the next lows, right? So it becomes extremely simple. And literally, it's the exact same strategy every single day. Now, that is just the first example. And the next example is going to be a little bit harder to understand. So we're going to break this fully down for you. So that way, it's like super, super clear. But before I do that, I want to show you this continuation example one more time because it is really, really simple. And yeah, so hold on. So let's find a fib continuation real quick. It's going to be super, super easy because we do this literally every single day. For this example, we've identified a big range on a 1-hour chart. And remember, guys, the higher time frame you go in this strategy, the more likely it is to be accurate, but you're going to have larger stop losses along the way, right? I mean, think about it this way. If you take a trade on a daily time frame, right? Think about how much price moves in that daily time frame. So even if it is more accurate, you are going to have larger stops. So that's just something that you have to be completely aware of, or risk appropriately for it, right? Those are the 2 things that I would make sure that you understand when it comes to that. So for this example, we have the 1-hour time frame. We have ourselves a range identified here, a top and a bottom, a very clear range. And so what we're looking for now is extremely simple. We want to draw from the left side to the right side, as you can see here. And the next thing we're looking for is a retest of one of these 2 levels. So let's see what happens on this chart. We end up coming up, retest the 50%, and all we need to see at this point is a break in lows for an entry. So I would put my short position here, stop losses over the 50% is the same exact position. And my target would most likely be at these lows, but I would probably hold for a larger target based on liquidity, right? And if you don't know, about liquidity, I have other videos on that as well. I would go through my whole channel if I were you because it just has everything. I trade my same strategy every single day, and I've gone over that exact same strategy so many times. So go through all those videos and literally binge watch all of my content if what I'm saying is making sense to you, right? It's, subscribe as well if you want. So that's the continuation model, right? It's extremely, extremely simple. Every single entry that I take is going to be off of this continuation model. We are going in the same direction, and all we want to do is have an entry that is inside of trend into one direction. And just to show you how this strategy actually works, you can see right here that I took over a 500% position live with my mentorship program, and I literally use this exact same system. It's the same strategy every single time. So let's break it down real quick. So first thing you can see here is if I grab my pencil, you can see we have this low and we have that high up there. Now, I don't have that high defined right now because this is a screenshot from yesterday's trade. But as you can see, we come all the way down here. We come all the way up to retest that 61.8%, also known as the golden pocket, right? We retest that golden pocket. So now all I'm looking for is the same exact entry every single day, right? Now, I did take a little bit of an early entry because I had a little bit more risk available. But as you can see, this entry would have been right here, right? This entry would have been right there on the break of lows and a continuation. That's the A plus entry. I'm not going to lie to you. I took about an A entry, not an A plus. But as you can see, this is the exact same strategy every single day. And if I scroll up in my positions, you will see that it's pretty much always the same strategy. Take a look here, right? We have ourselves their fib. So you can see we have that 61.8% right here, which is the golden pocket. So all we need to see is a push up into the golden pocket and a break of lows for a continuation down to the next level of liquidity. It's the same exact strategy every single day, and it absolutely will cook. And so that's the thing, right? And of course, I alert my mentorship through every single position that I take. So all these positions are literally done live in front of everybody. And by the way, guys, if you have been struggling as a trader, or if you are just starting and you have no clue how to trade from start to finish, I have worked with over 500 people at this point. I mean, literally, if you scroll down here, you can see that I have one-on-one chats with a lot of people. And these one-on-one chats that I have are directly a text communication line with me. So if you are struggling, I've made multiple six figures trading, and I will literally help you from whatever phase that you're at inside of your trading. I will stay with you every single day, keep you accountable, and trade with you to make sure that you become successful as a trader. And that's what I've done with a lot of people. If we go to the Share Your Wins tab here, you can see that people are actually making over $1,000 a day trading with me every single day. And on top of that, guys, I'm watching every trade they make. I audit every trade they make. And students are literally doing insane stuff with this strategy. It's the simplest thing ever. TFC, key levels, and Fibonacci. That's the same strategy every single day. If you're interested in that, go to the first link in the description. It's going to be this first link right here in the description. You're going to click that. That'll take you over to my website. If you want to actually do this though, just make sure that you are serious, because I only pick 10 people per month. I just want to make sure that I give as much time as possible to each one of my one-on-one mentorship students. So if this is something that you're actually genuinely wanting to do, well, then fill out this application, and I hope to see you on the other side. Now, this fib continuation model is extremely strong. But like I told you, you have to have a really, really good understanding of my entry process, which is the TFC. So this video right here is popping up on the screen, and it goes over the entire TFC strategy from start to finish. Guys, we have a minute left. So subscribe to me. And also, guys, I really do appreciate what the growth that we've been seeing on this channel. I mean, people have been showing so much love, so much appreciation for these strategies. I mean, I have only 3 main strategies that I trade all together. But for those of you who have enjoyed it, the SOA system, I appreciate all of you guys. I mean, we've gained literally over 8,000 subscribers in the last month. We've gained over 8,000 free Discord members as well, which is just ridiculous. So with that being said, guys, I appreciate all of you. And if you want to work with me, first link in the description. Hopefully a lot of you guys found this valuable. Now, the fib continuation model is extremely strong, but what I want you to do is go watch this TFC video, because if you don't understand the TFC, you're not going to understand fib continuations. You're not going to understand VWAP EMA continuations, right? It's the same strategy every single day. With that being said, I'll see you guys all later. Adios, everybody. Goodbye. See you guys tomorrow. Later, gang.